You're on a journey, and the journey is finding yourself. You might be on an actual journey as well, but the card is mostly referring to the journey that you're taking to try to find yourself and try to discover who you actually are, because at this point, you don't know exactly who you actually are. You have an inkling, you have a clue, but you're not quite sure, and you're still discovering. So you're traveling through your psyche, you're traveling through the depths of your psyche, you're traveling through the depths of your past, you're traveling through your relationships, you're going over every single relationship you've ever had, trying to discover things that you did, things that they did, things that you said, things that they said, and trying to discover why those things happened, why you did the things you did, why you responded the way you did. So you're taking this huge journey, and the journey's ongoing, and there's no ending in sight. It just seems as though you're just going and going and going around in circles, but you never actually find the truth that you're looking for, and you never actually feel like you're really discovering yourself or discovering what you're looking for. In order to find out the truth of this journey, a sacrifice is necessary. You're going to have to make a sacrifice of something that you've been avoiding for a really, really long time. And that sacrifice is who you think you are, because you have all these ideas about who you think you are, and all those ideas have come from other people. They've come from your family, your friends, your boyfriends, your girlfriends, your co-workers, your boss, whoever, your school identity, like whatever identity has been imposed on you from the time you basically popped out of the womb. And the sacrifice of giving up all of that, the sacrifice of actually letting go of all of that, which most of it is falsehood anyway, but the sacrifice of getting rid of all of that falsehood has always seemed too big, too monumental, too much for you to take, too much for you to handle. So you've been avoiding it your entire life, even though you've known for many, 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 many years that the sacrifice is going to be necessary. But you still just haven't wanted to do it because it's big and it's scary, and it's just something that you can't even conceive of. I mean, who would you be? What would you do? Where would you go? What would your life look like? What kind of people would come into your life? And would you lose the people that are currently in your life if you made that sacrifice? And that's a really big, scary thing. That's a really, really big deal to make a sacrifice of that size. So you just haven't wanted to do it, but you're going to have to do it. And if you do it, then you're going to set off on a new journey, and that new journey is going to be exciting and interesting, and it's going to be a journey that's a true journey, because it's going to be the first time that you've actually set off on a journey as the real you. It's going to be the first time that you've actually gone off on a personal journey that's a truly personal journey, and not a journey that was completely concocted by the ideas and expectations of others. So even though that sacrifice is really, really scary, and it might be really, really messy, the rewards are just so great and so wonderful, because, sure, you won't know where you're going and you won't know what to expect, but it'll be the first time that you'll actually really and truly be alive and living your life instead of living other people's lives and living other people's expectations. So you have to make that sacrifice. You have no choice. Because if you don't, you're just going to keep traveling and traveling and traveling endlessly and never discover what you're actually looking for. This is one of your ancestors, but it's actually you as well, because you are your ancestors. So this is some ancestor that is trying to communicate with you right now, that is telling you that even though she may be an ancestor that you never met, that you never got to know, that was never in your life, that never played a big important role in your life, this ancestor knows you and knows who you are and knows the true you, because you are them. So they know themselves, and therefore they know you, and they're telling you that in order for you to live the life you want and live the life that you need to know who you really are as well. And in order for you to know who you really are, you're going to have to take those steps. You're going to have to take that journey. You're going to have to let go of those relationships. You're going to have to let go of that job. You're going to have to let go of that idea of who you are. You're going to have to let go of maybe that toxic family structure that you've been in your entire life. You're going to have to let go of everything in your life that's not true, that's not authentic, that's not really you, that doesn't really resonate with you and who you are. And the way you know who you are is by how things feel. You innately know when things are false. You innately know when things don't resonate with you, when things aren't true, when you're not being true to yourself. You know. And so you have to be brave enough to walk away, say no, put up a stop sign when you encounter things in your life that aren't true, that aren't real, that aren't you. And you need to create an entire life that is you, where every time you look around you, the people that you hang out with, the job that you do, the things that you do are all you. And until you do that, you'll never be happy, you'll never be fulfilled. And that journey will never stop. That endless circular journey that's just making your head spin, driving you crazy, running you around in a circle, in a loop that you don't want to be in. Until you do that, that will never stop. But you want it to stop, because once it stops, then you can actually take a journey. You can travel in a direction that you want to be traveling in. So I'm going to leave it there. Have a nice day.